we go to special senses today. Yes, special senses today. So next week, next week is our midterm. Yeah, next week is our midterm. And we finish special senses first. And then we go to some review together. Yeah, like usually we review first. Last 2 weeks, we just finish our nervous systems. And that's a big part. Basically, I upload all of our physiology class on YouTube already. If you're missing some class before, you can go to my YouTube channels. The YouTube channel on my website, on the notes page, upper part, I put my YouTube channel in there. So you can go to my YouTube channels to looking some notes, looking some class recorder. Yeah. So basically, I upload all of our class recorder on YouTube channels. And also you can do some review if you need. So that's basically, our notes location and our recorders location. Yeah, so for your attendance, please put your name on the chart part. Yeah, if you need attendance. Yeah, if you need attendance, for your attendance, you can put your name on the chart part. Okay, so for today, we say we go to special senses first, and then we do some review, and we talk about our midterm. Senses means the feeling organ or tissues. Yeah. So we're talking about special senses here. We're talking about specially orifice, like the eyes, like the ear. Certainly nose and the tongue. Oh, I just put mouth here. Mainly function is the tongue. Still belong to special senses. But in our class, we mainly talking about eyes and the ear and the function. Because nose belong to respiration systems. We will talking it later when we talking about respiration systems. And the mouth belong to digestive systems. We still talking it later when we talking about digestive systems. So mainly for today, we only talking about eyes and the ear. And we say physiology class, we talking about functions. So that's the function part, function part of the body, physiology class. So we say senses, not only including the orifice, also including our skin. Like we can feel the touching, feel the painful, feel body temperature, and some limbs can feel the movement. But that part is not belong to special senses, just the general senses. Yeah, just general senses. So that's we say today we mainly focus about the eye and the ear and its function. Let's go to the eyes first. The eye, including the eyeball, and certainly outside the eyeball, we have eyelids. But we say right now we are in the physiology class. We're talking about mainly functionally. Eyelid, just kind of eye protection. You will learn that part in your anatomy class. Right now, we're mainly talking about the function. So we go to the eyeball directly. So eyeball, generally say, separate with two parts, wall part and the content part. So this page basically still belong to your anatomy. Yeah. Still belong to anatomy. We just do some review here. So wall part, we have three walls, or three coat, or three cover. Different book, they may name it different. But whatever, fibrous, pretty outside, vascular, middle, retina, pretty in the center. So that's we go to the picture, we are easily understanding. So coming from outside, so basically the blue color here. You can make a big circle for blue color. That's fabric cover. Then in the middle, they use orange color there. Yeah, orange color there. That look like a start from here and ending from here to here. But truly, they including some part in here. So that's the second cover. The second cover. That's basically more blood vessel there. And then pretty in the inside, lighter yellow color here. And certainly go over to here. That's the retina. So that's we say three covers. Yeah, three covers. And in different cover, yeah, in different cover, including fibrous cover, they will separate another two parts, cornea and sclera. So that means in these pictures, outside and go to basically go to this area. Thus to here is the sclera. It's no color. It's truly clear. It's truly clear. And all the other part, yeah, all the other part, auto cover is sclera. That's the first cover we're talking about. Outside, we separate with two parts. One is cornea in front of the eyes. That's our light passing through and go to inside the eyes area. And the other part we call sclera. Clara, we still can see from the anterior part of the eyes, like here's the pupil, here's the iris, and then both sides, white part, still belong to Clara. So that's the outer cover or fibrous cover or coat. Then middle cover, vascular coat, including three parts. We're talking about from anterior to posterior. Pretty anterior part is the iris. So that's the part here, the iris. That's we're looking from the side. If we're looking from anterior, so basically it's this part around the pupil. That's the iris. Second part, like connected iris, and then go to pretty back part, this big part. This big part we call cellular body. We will talk about the function later. What cellular body they're working for. And then all the other part, middle coat here, like an orangey kind of color here. That's the correct. So that's the second part of the coat we call vascular coat, including three parts. Then pretty inside, inside of the eyeball coat is a retina. So retina didn't separate other part, just the one part. Retina is the receptors. What means receptors here in the eyes? Receptor for the light. So you can see they start from here and all the way ending here. That's our retina. Yeah. So we can see something because we have retina. We have special cells in the retina receive light. So that's the walls part. That's the walls part. Then we go to the content part. Content part means what inside. Yeah, what inside. So inside, basically, we still separate with three parts. Yeah, we still separate three parts. That's more anterior part. Have water in there. We call aqueous. Then we have lens. Then pretty big water's body. That's still clear. So basically these three parts is the clear part. Thus allow the light passing through our eyes and then go to the retina. So then we're still talking about especially the water part. So that's basically some space here. We say between the lens and the cornea area, we have some space. And between the iris and the lens area, we still have some space. So basically, anterior space a little bigger, posterior to the iris is a little bit smaller, but they communicate each other. The water can circulation basically from posterior part to the anterior part. So that's we name it. Yeah, that's we name it. So anterior part we call anterior cavity. Some book they still use chamber, means some space. And the posterior part is posterior cavity or chamber. Water circulation between it. Water circulation between it. And then the lens. We're talking about function later. That's the pretty important part inside of our eyes. So here is the lens. This is normally still clear. Normally still clear. That's the second part. And the third big part here. Still cover and with some water inside. But this kind of water not directly communicated with other part. Just kind of holding there. And truly still have by some blood supply for the nutrition there. So that's our third part, ventris body. So that's basically anatomy of our eyes. Then we go to it one by one and then talking it functions. So here is what's the name? Here is the functions. Then we're talking about one by one. So outside code, fabric code, fabric code. So different book, they may use different words here, but we just remember that's the fabric. So fabric code we talked about already, including the cornea and the anterior part, and then sclera on the most big part, posterior part. So functions for cornea. That's our light go in part. Through the cornea, through the pupil, through the lens, then go to inside the eyes, go to retina. So basically, they will reflect or bend the light. So cornea have functions, bend the light. So that's some people, if their vision have some trouble, they may put another, they may surgery changing the angle of the cornea, or may they use some contacted kind of lens glass for the cornea. So truly they have function bending the light. Scalar area, that's simple. Just maintains the shape and protected inside. So that's the outer cover. Then we're talking about the middle cover, or coat. So that's vascular cover or coat there. So that's including three parts, from anterior to posterior. The first part is the iris. Iris, the function. regular amount of the light go to inside of the eyeball. How it can act like a regulate. So that's our pupil. Around the pupil is our iris. If you like some people go to pretty dark room, just a small light in there, you can see people's pupil got pretty bigger. If people go to outside, their pupil will be changing to smaller. Certainly, big eye, more light go in. Small eye, less light go in. So that's the iris can regulate how much light go into the eyeball. Then we're talking about the cellular body. Cellular body's functions. Still remember we have some liquid in there. Where are they coming from? They're coming from cellular bodies. Yeah, cellular body. Basically this part, posterior part. And then the liquid will circulate from posterior to the anterior chamber, then reabsorption the anterior part. So that's one function for cellular body. Another function, more important for cellular body, it will be changing the shape of the lens. Lens we'll talk about later. Functionally, still reflection for the light. So certainly the lens shape is different. The light reflection will be different. So how to change the lens shape? Cellular body. Cellular body, small fabric in here, they can pull the lens, go to more fly, and possible make the link little bit bigger. So that's basically the second part, we say cellular body, and the third part. So third part basically pretty similar like an auto cover. It's still protections, but it also give blood supply. That's why its name comes. Vascular means blood vessel. It truly have a lot of blood vessels inside, and then they give blood supply to the retina. And also they also have some function, absorbed some light. So it means the light go to the retina, but still some light go to not like a focus on the retina area. They will absorption. So that's the second cover for the eyeball. Then we go to pretty inside. Yeah, pretty inside. Inside cover retina. We say that's only one cover there. Yeah. Only one part there. Only one part there. That's the mainly part relationship with our eyes function. So what's the eyes function? Receive the light and then transform it to the nerve impulse and sending the information go to the brain. So that's the nerve bunch. Cranial nerve is number 2, or optic nerve. So thus we can see the retina are directly connected with cranial nerve number 2. Receive the light and then sending to the brain. So that's the mainly function part of our eyes. Then we're talking about the cavity inside the eyes. We say we have anterior cavity, we have posterior cavity. So anterior cavity, they have some water in there. So this kind of water maintenance the shape of the eyeball and also give oxygen or nutrition to the lens and the cornea. So truly we don't have blood supply go to inside the cavity area. Without blood supply, we say usually blood supply oxygen and nutrition. Without oxygen and nutrition, our cells will be dead. So thus we say this area we still don't have blood supply. Where their nutrition and oxygen will be coming from, and especially for cornea, it's coming from the water in there, in the anterior cavity and also in the posterior cavity. So that's not only like maintenance the shape, it truly gives our eyes nutrition there. And the picture don't have posterior cavity here, but basically posterior cavity, they are same function. Just posterior cavity too smaller here, too smaller here. But we say they are connected to each other. Then we're talking about the lens and its function. We say this is the clear, cover and still some liquid inside. But this liquid is not communicated with other outside liquid. So that's the lens. Lens only have one function. Reflect the light. Reflect the light. Similar like a cornea. Yeah. So the light go into the eyes, they must be through the cornea first, then go to the lens. Both these parts will flight the light. Then we go to the vitreous chamber. Vitreous chamber just means space. And thus the cover still some liquid inside. Sometimes we call vitreous body, the same thing. Yeah, all the words you're looking the frontal part. Frontal part will be the same. Posterior part, they may use different name to mention it. Yeah. So we just look into the frontal part. That's a big space here. So what it function? Yeah, what it function? So that's basically function maintenance the shape. We can see if everything empty here, the eyeball will be changing for the shape. And also the holding Yeah, they're holding the retina close to the second cover there. So that's basically holding function. So our light through it, it is clear, but these parts don't have light reflection functions. Basically, light reflection functions, one is cornea, one is the lens. They just holding the space there. So that's basically about our eyes, and each part it functions. Then we're talking about some special part of the eyes. So lot of parts still the same. We just talking about something we didn't mention before. Macula. So macula inside of the retina. So we still see the red color here. And some special part look like we have David there. David. So that part is our clear vision. We'll go to there. Like if we try to see something more clear, that's truly we use that part. Other part, we still can receive light. Like when we checking for the vision, like I looking for the, like the camera here directly, my eyeball looking there pretty clearly. But at the same time, a bug flying beside me, I still can see it, even when I didn't see clear. So that's basically use other part of the retina. But if I like to see something clear, like I read a book, that's I use the part for the vision, macula art. So that's one especially for the vision. We have one dot there for the clear vision. And also we have another part that be special. Another special part is this eye. Why we say this part special? We say this part is our optic nerve coming out of the eyeball and then go to connected with our brain part. That's the nerves, when we're talking about nervous system, we say axon. That's the axons composed nerve bunch in there. It's not truly nerve cells, but it is axon. So they occupied some part of the retina area. We only in the retina area we have special cells can receive light. Now the optic nerves coming out of the eyeball connected with brain. So certainly this part we don't have retina. We don't have retina in that area means we couldn't see that area. So that area is our vision emptied area. But some people say, I never noticed. My eyes couldn't see some part, no vision. Truly, your two eyes help each other. You didn't notice that, but it truly no vision in this eye. So that's two special structures inside the eyes. One is clear vision, one is no vision. So the eyes go to the light go to inside the eyes, pretty similar. The light coming from the air and then go to the water, they'll be reflected. So that's pretty similar through the cornea and through the lens area. So that's we say we see something, for example, a tree here, and then the light reflection by the cornea first. Yeah, look like pretty smaller here, but truly it reflection in the cornea first, and then more reflection from the lens. And truly go to our cornea area is the opposite subject in there. That's about our visions. Then we're talking about some normal vision and some abnormal vision. That's pretty commonly, pretty commonly. Here is the normal vision. Here's the normal vision. For example, the normal vision, the light coming, and after reflections from the cornea and from the lens, finally they will focus on the retina area, exactly on the retina. That's our normal vision, or normal eye. Then we have two different kind of situations. So we still to see the picture here. So one situations means after the light go into the eyes, after reflections, they focus area in front of the retina for some reason. Maybe some people's the eyeball changing for longer, maybe some genetic reasons, but whatever, they focus not in the retina area. So in this picture, the yellow color still means retina. If they focus on retina area, people will see clear. And for this patient, basically, in the retina area, they will form this kind of shape. So they still can see something, but not clear. So that's one kind of situation we say nearsighted, or some other medical words, myopic eye. Myopic eye. Nearsighted or myopic eye. So this kind of patient, if we try to correct the eyes, like the vision, like the everything exactly go to the retina area, we need to use a special lens and make the light like go to bigger first. Then they can go after flexion, exactly go to retina area. So basically in these situations, we will use corkboard lens. Then we can correct it. So picture here is corrected for these kind of eyes. So that's one kind of situation. So right now, a lot of the children have this problem, like read long term and the eyes will be tired. and then the eyeball getting longer and longer. That we call nearsighted or myopic eye. Then we're talking about another kind of situation for the eyes. So these kind of patient, their light go to inside the eyes. It's focused behind the retina area. Certainly in retina area, they still can see, but not clear because not focusing. So these kind of eyes we call far-sighted eyes. So lot of medical words you can separate with like a 2 or 3 parts, easy remember and easy understanding. Far means far away. And certainly we also have a special word for it, hyper-optic. So it's still separate. So these kind of patient, if we try to correct it, we need a focus little bit more closed. So that's the lens we need to use, correct lens. Make it a little bit more narrow and more close to the retina. So that's clinically pretty commonly people have eyes problems, relationship with these two kinds. Then we're talking about the retina, a little bit detail here. Because that's the mainly part of eye functions people can see, it must be have retina. So that's we say that's the third or more inner lens of the eyeballs. And that's basically our visions go to there. Like the picture here, yeah, like the picture here. That's the nose side. That's the temporal side. If this is the patient, means the patient face to us. The patient face to us. And then if we use special kind of scope, yeah, we must use some special kind of scope. Then we can look inside of the eyes. We can see clearly retina there. So what we can see? So the picture just like this. Yeah. Oh, okay, they put left side eyes in here. So what we can see inside the eyes, because inside the eyes usually no light, so we couldn't see anything. We just see dark pupil there. But with special kind of scope, truly, we can sending the light go to inside the eyeball, and then we can through the scope to looking inside. So that's exactly if you use special kind of scope, you can see no more inside the eyes retina area. So the first part you can see this area little bit light yellow color compared with other part. So that's the part is a optic nerve go outside of the eyeball area. And this area, we call it a disc, yeah, like a disc. Yeah, so that's we call it in the optic disc. Remember that's on the nose side. Yeah, on the nose side. And we also say this part is the blood vessel passing through, go to the eyes, especially is the nervous passing through part. So no vision in this area. No vision. It's not truly retina in there. So no vision area. Then we're talking about we have a special area. I would like including all together this area. This area is truly we talking about before. Macular area, yeah, macular area. And in the center, let it be David there. Yeah, so that's basically our clear vision in this area. And then you can see the blood vessels, yeah, artery. And certainly, let it be dark part is the vein, yeah. Clear red part is the artery, and let it be dark part is the vein. So go all over inside of the retina. Yeah, basically retina is kind of clear. You can see under the retina is some blood vessels in there. So that's the normally inside of our eyeball, what we can see, So certainly people have some trouble, some bleeding or edema happens in the eyes. We can use that special kind of scope and we can see it. Then we're talking about connection, yeah, nervous sponge connection with the brain. So connection the brain part, we still remember optic nervous. That's cranial nervous number 2. So basically that's anterior, that's posterior. So eyeball located in this area. You can see the nerve branch coming out from here, connected with the eyeball. And then they cross each other and then connected with the brain. So that's basically connect brain and that's control center, control vision. So that's like bring here and then we transfer the plan, cutting here, then we looking, got this picture like this. So that's if we go to simple picture here, yeah, simple picture, pretty same with the last one, but we just got a simple picture here. That's still eyeball, both sides, and then they will cranial nervous number 2, optic nervous go like this way. And then they cross each other, then they connect with the brain and control the vision. But just pay attention here. So picture here means the eye vision. So each side, center part, they will be covered, but the side part, let it be different. So that's one eye, that's another eye. Certainly in the center part, they are the same. So that's way looking everything with 2 eyes. Center part is more clear. But the side part, just one eye can cover. Another one eye, they couldn't cover. So basically, each of the eyes separate with cranial nervous area. Retina, they have middle side, they have lateral side. They will see opposite side part. So thus we say the vision, they looking opposite side. And then two bunches. In the nose part, bunches is go to other side. And the temple part, they will be go to same side. So that's the vision and the nervous passing the root. So that's clinically pretty useful. Like where patient have trouble or illness, they will reflect it with the vision. Like if some damage happens in here or in the eyeball area, just one eye, no vision. But if they happens in here, truly some tumor will be affected. So the nerves go to cornea area, will be go to here, and these eyes will be go to here. And they see the opposite side vision, so that means these kind of patient, they will have some trouble. Both eyes on the lateral side losing the vision, but the middle side will be normal. And if some trouble happens in here, they blocking the vision part here and here. So the patient have trouble or no vision in here, and these eyes in here, like the same side. So through the vision, we can know like which part of the nervous bunch they will have some trouble. So that's basically about our eyes and the functions. So this chart just summarize different parts and their functions. Same as before.